Hello everyone, I am Tacet and Stonehammer, the new mythic is here. We just opened him after doing a bunch of keys and everything. Of course, he is only in Glory, Gem, Guild, and VIP chests this week. He is the only mythic in the drop pool, and then after this week, he'll be in the drop pool with all of the other mythics, just like every month when the mythics come in. So today I'm going to be showing 3 different teams with him, pretty obviously based on what he does. We are going to be using him with a Gorgotha for one, Jarl with another, and one other team that you actually just saw right there. But we'll start with the Gorgotha first, basically going an all KZL team. Just happen to be using Stonehammer because the Kingdom doesn't really have a really good kill card. I guess we could use Rockworm, but then we wouldn't be using green, which would be just a little bit annoying. But on this, wait, why is that my banner? That is not the banner we should be on. But what does Stonehammer do? He stuns and burns all enemies, creates 15 red and brown gems, and then gains life based on his magic. So quite a few useful things. He is ridiculously tanky, not only because he has a 80% skull reduction when fully traded, but he also has thick head, which is immunity to stun, which will make sure that he'll forever keep that 80% immunity, which is something that Gorgotha doesn't have. It has the immunity or the ability to cleanse, but it does not have any immunity to stun, so pretty useful there. This is a ridiculously tanky team that we will probably be using on defend if we do end up using it. There we go. Let's just go with a Gorgotha banner to try to get that up. But yeah, super tanky. We have a 75% skull reduction Gorgotha. We have a 80% skull reduction Stonehammer. We have a 50% skull reduction Rock Troll, and then Stonehammer, whenever we do an extra turn, will entangle. So this team is pretty much impossible to lose against skull damage. We could try losing to skull damage, and it would nearly be impossible. So it does have that pretty huge benefit. Though, unless we can get a really heavy brown-green damager, which there isn't really currently. I guess Stonehammer is about as high as can go, which is why I'm using it. But unless we can get something really high in that last slot to deal damage, this team is going to be relatively slow, so it may just be more of a defend team for anti-skull. It could slightly be useful for the Guild Wars system whenever that ends up coming out. It did get delayed till, I believe, the 24th, they end up saying, so that's a bit unfortunate. But, of course, pure colors, whenever you use it, will be pretty good. And this team does use 3 browns, could even reorganize it a bit to be able to use 4. We do have our double for the browns, but we don't have any way to really utilize that off the current board, so we'll just put down a Stonehammer. Stonehammer is a good majority of our damage on this team. We are going to be getting quite a bit of damage from the burns. It also stuns everything, so even if they have immunity to burn, they will still get burned. So that is pretty nice. So like that Gorgotha there will end up getting burned as soon as we cast this, and a pretty good setup for our board too. To be able to cast, we need as many browns and reds on the board, and that looks pretty nice for that. So as you can see right there, even though the Gorgotha does indeed have immunity to burning, he did not, or he did indeed get burned. You can see right there, fireproof, yet he's burned right now, so works out pretty nice. We'll just double the amount of browns on the board to get up our Stonehammer really easily. And then we'll save his cast for that. You can see we get our mana right back. I'm not even going to bother with the skulls. And we definitely want to feed as many skulls to him, since he does literally nothing out of them. Even if he broke out of Entangle, he would still literally be doing nothing out of them. He might poke our Gorgotha for like a 5 or something, not even. And even then, he'd be poking for even less. And then we still have 50% reduction if he happens to somehow get through all of that. So yeah, pretty much nothing that skulls will be able to do. He also works really well with Courages, a lot of fun. We'll have a team based on that as well. Actually, the next 2 teams both use a Courage, but they're definitely highly advised, since he can feed right into the red mana, since he doesn't actually use red. And the fact that he burns everything, anything that burns everything, will be pretty good with a Courage, because the Courage has a 4 times boost ratio to the amount of attack that it gives based on how many enemies are burning. So that would be an additional 16 pretty much every single time, since even if they have immunity, the only thing that he can't burn or stun is things that have immunity to impervious. Since the impervious would stop the stun and therefore would also stop the burning. But if they only have immunity to burning, which is of course fireproof, then it will still burn them. Not a really good board right now. I guess we'll throw it down again because we can get a kill off of Gorgotha even if this completely misses. So we'll throw that down, and it does indeed completely miss, unfortunately. That is the only problem of using Salvini Mora, is basically our only damage source. But 2 Salvini Moras will be enough for the cleanup of this. We'll throw this down now. Looks like a decent amount of browns that we should be able to get a turn, and we do indeed get that turn. Going to be needing a little more mana than that. Still not enough. I really don't want to have to throw a Gorgotha here, but it looks like we'll have to. There's not enough greens for us to get up Salvini Mora. It is very slowly inching its way up there. Okay, that worked out pretty nice. We'll throw that right there. Maybe we can get some Skull Pokes. Skull Pokes will kill. And good, we did get the Skull Poke, and on an extra turn from the double. Very nice. We'll let them kind of just sit right there. I guess we can take a poke on Dragon Soul. He is stunned right now, so I might want to kill it while he's stunned, since he has no chance of resummoning himself during the duration of a stun, so that's pretty nice. Oh, it did get a revive, though, so we're going to feed it a skull, most likely. We'll give it that 1 skull. Maybe we can even cascade into something. Nope, would have taken that if we could have. So we'll throw this down, get our little burn, should be able to get our turn, Salvini Mora, and then anything we do after that will be enough for the kill. So it's completely disabled at this point. I guess we throw this again. There isn't really too many browns on the board. Should be able to get an extra turn off the reds, and we do so. Not really having anything to feed all the reds into. Might actually want to, in the future, replace out this Rock Troll. But we'll throw that down. Like, Rock Troll is helping a lot in doubling the browns, but isn't really helping much in anything else other than just kind of being tanky. But like I said, this will probably be more of a defend team build for it, that just completely straight out denies skulls to the point that no one in their right mind would bother using skull damage against this team. You'd have to be insane to try to use skull damage against that team. That is way too much reduction. Of course, there's plenty of teams that can counter it, but there's no way you're going to kill that with skulls. And if you do, it's going to take like 5 minutes, if not longer. But let's go into this one. Of course, Jarl, pretty obvious choice to pick with it, since they both do a relatively similar ability. With a 15 red and brown here, and Jarl doing the 15, or not 15, that would be amazing if he did, a 9 red and yellow, very similar, of course not the exact same gems, but they do have overlap that can feed into each other. We have a Courage here to be able to utilize all those burns, since both of them are going to be burning like crazy. Of course, Fiery Cloak there, as well as just his ability in general on the Stonehammer, being able to burn everything other than things with impervious. Courage, of course, will be utilizing that the 4 times I mentioned earlier, so that's the additional 16 attack, regardless of Courage's level, assuming that they all get burned. And Kraken is mainly just here for to cover every color, for the tentacle damage, and he is the legend that we can make mythic, or not mythic, he's the legend that we can fully trait this week, so might as well throw him in there too. Works pretty well with the current event, since the current event gem, at least this week on PC Mobile, is the green-purple, which you can just use to feed that up, and we can get this whole team. We can get the new mythic, and we can get our nice Kraken in there together. So right here, we are going to want to start on Jarl Fire Mantle. Oh, I just gave him so much red. Okay. That actually wouldn't be bad if he gets 1 cast off. Problem is if he starts getting too many more, because that's just going to feed him into all the manas. But I would love a board clear right now, because this board is pretty bad. Not going to be able to get too much off on it. Might even hold my Jarl cast until after the board clear. Though he already has it, so I guess I won't be doing that, because I won't actually have it in time. 1 turn off. So he'll get his board clear, probably get most of his Gorgotha up right there. Okay, all of his Gorgotha up right there. A little bit unfortunate right there, but should be able to work around. We could try for a brown extra turn. That would be amazing. Slightly tempted to take this upwards, so we get a guaranteed brown and a chance of that. Only problem with that is we'd give him an extra turn on skulls, which would yield him a stun. I don't really think stun would be too big a deal unless it hits stun on our Kraken, though. Hard choice. We could also take this skull and hope for a drop, and then we still give him green. So regardless of what we do, we're kind of giving him something. So we could just take this standard browns, I guess, and then he'll take one of those skulls. I think I'll go for that. So he'll take one of the skull pairs right there that I'm deciding to take. So he'll give us one of those extra turns that I was mentioning earlier. So we'll just swipe that, get our burn off. Don't really need that burn. Looks like an okay amount of yellows. I guess we could try it. I'll mainly aim at Gorgotha just to get rid of that hard skin that it has, that granite. 75% skull reduction. Don't want that to be in our way. So we'll definitely want to kill that out so we can start using skulls to our advantage. At this point, I'm kind of just feeding him skulls. Unfortunately, we do have our Jarl up front and not our Stonehammer, so we are taking quite a bit of damage from these skulls. Of course, the main reason I put that up front is just from the leadership. Gives him a little bit of extra bonus. Maybe good actually to put Stonehammer behind, but one of the other reasons I did this is because even if we do lose our Jarl, we still have a full team covering every single color between the Stonehammer covering blue, brown, yellow, or why am I going in there? You can see it from here. The Courage covering the red, and the Kraken covering the last two colors of the green and purple, so it works out pretty nice. Plus, of course, the Kraken has that slight chance of feeding mana back into it, since it does create blues, which will help get his blues if there happen to be a bunch, like right now. Except we don't actually have his ability up, unfortunately. So right here, I am probably just going to forfeit my turn. Not too good of a board for Jarls, so we'll just wait a turn. Hopefully he'll set more reds and yellows on the board. That'll give us better alignment for our ability. That'll have to be good enough. Okay, so we'll throw that down. It's going to be a little bit annoying on the Corvash, since he is going to be able to disable out our mythic, which just got to 21 mana. So he's going to get that down, and that will delay us a bit. Luckily, the Gorgotha is nice and dumb, and we'll keep casting Gorgotha. That is something really bad about first slot Gorgotha on a defend team, is the AI absolutely loves to keep casting it over and over and over and over again. And it's pretty funny. Oh good, we got a Kraken up, which will be pretty decent for us, since we can get the blues to feed into the last mana that we'll be needing. We could take a skull right there, not too worth it. We'll kill the Gorgotha. We kind of want to keep Gorgotha alive, to be honest. So let's see if we can get an extra turn off this. Probably not likely, but at least we got some of our mana back, and it is enough. Oh, that wouldn't have even been enough to kill out the Gorgotha. 1 HP. If you drain us now, right when we need to get this a cast off. No. Do Dragon Soul. Oh, good. Gorgotha, go. Yes. Good job, AI. Smart moves. Pro AI right there. Okay. And he'll do it again. Actually, it's not going to do it again. We'll take that. Actually, could have gotten a little bit damage if we took both the extra turns. But we'll go and throw down all the disables. Hopefully, he'll be dumb enough to do the Dragon Soul now. I don't think he will be, though. Though we do have our chance for extra turn, so we'll throw that down, and we do hit our extra turn, and we finally have that Courage up that I've been wanting to do for pretty much this whole battle. We finally get that up. We can get our buff, we can get our Scope Poke, and please red. Ooh, Corvash. Ah. Ah, Corvash. It's a little annoying. Always annoying to see that Corvash go off. Even though he isn't really that big of a deal these days, but still. Sets us back a little bit on time, but we'll just move over our reds. Just try to get Kraken back up. I will take skulls whenever we see them now, simply because I'll just speed up this match at this point. Don't really need to worry about anything else, so we'll just throw this down, and if it devours, we win. If it not, as long as that burn stays on, we'll just win that way. Oh, how on earth did you get an extra turn off that? We could have killed you off the little poke. Oh well, but he'll just take whatever here. We don't get anything else. Come on, Devour. Or at least stay on the burn. Okay, there we go. So that worked out. We did get the Devour. And even if we didn't, there was a chance the burn would have stayed, and that would have killed him instead. So let's go to the final team. And when I was testing it earlier, it was actually my favorite team to use, though it is a little bit... we need a good starting board, and I'm scared of that Kraken. Oh no, let's not be scared of the Kraken. I don't know if I should be scared of the Kraken. I probably should be. But it is this one. Stonehammer, Double Courage, Mercy. As long as we can get a good starting Mercy, we can have a lot of fun. I didn't actually get to 1,000 attack HP earlier, but it was getting into the hundreds pretty consistently. So as long as we get a not completely horrible board right here, we can have a lot of fun with just a single Stonehammer with a bunch of courages. And look at that. Not the best of placements, but it is definitely decent. So we'll take that right off the very first turn. A pretty substantial amount of mana. We can then take a skull into a yellow right here, just double checking for anything else. I've been missing a couple moves, don't want to miss any other pretty major ones. Oh, almost got a double yellow. And there's all of his mana, turn 1. Thank you, Mercy. So we'll throw this down. This will, of course, disable all his traits, which will be pretty useful, especially since he has a famine. That's going to be reducing down our stats every turn. Plus, that'll make sure he can't do his tentacles off of his Kraken. So we'll throw it... Oh, wait. Wait. Never mind. He has stun immunity. So he's going to be... Never mind. Never mind. I take that back. I forgot. He has immunity to stun. He'll get burned, but he won't get stunned. Fail. Yeah. So he'll still be fine. Never mind. He gets his tentacles. He gets to keep his tentacles. Okay, so now it begins. We actually already got it. So just keep throwing these at skulls, and hopefully we loop. Not much of a loop, but we'll take it, I guess. Kill. Essentially, if we could have gotten one more cast off, we'd be one-shotting every single time. But we'll take what we can get. Okay, so he'll skull poke us. We do want to get our reds back up and feed up courage. Could feed him too. Might want to do it off a mercy cast. There are quite a few purples. He's going to probably put some more on. If he aims at something that's not yellow, that would be really beneficial to us. For now, we'll just take a red though, and we do get the surge, so that'll be able to buff us up, give us up to one-shot range. The burn will poke him down to make sure that we'll pretty much always be doing one-shot range off our skulls. Of course, we'll keep getting unlucky and miss the courage, unfortunately. But as soon as we can get that rolling, yeah, every single skull we take is just going to one-shot. And they're still stunned, they're still burned, really nice. Taking damage every single turn, as well as just being disabled in general on their traits, pretty useful. I really do enjoy the change that they made to this mythic. The previous thing that we had posted on the forum, they did end up, of course, changing it, as many of you may have known from what I previously said about this mythic earlier. And the change that they made it to is pretty decent. I actually really like this mythic so far. Been having a decent amount of fun with it. Is it worth getting? I would definitely say yes. It's definitely one of the stronger ones out there these days. Has the most gem spawns of any troop really at the moment. Ridiculously tanky, though of course do keep in mind that his traits are ridiculously expensive. And if you saw my video earlier trying to obtain him, that is also can be pretty expensive if you get unlucky. But definitely one that you should try. Maybe throw like 50 keys at it. Maybe get lucky. Hopefully. But yeah, if you have a Gorgotha already, I wouldn't threat too much if you don't really get him. He really is essentially just a Gorgotha, just kind of a different variant of it that works better with courage and stuff. But the bottom line is he's basically a Gorgotha. So if you already have him, you still don't need to worry too much if you... as long as you have a Gorgotha, you don't really need this troop. It's nice to have, but Gorgotha is really just the same thing for the most part. There's like some slight difference, like of course he doesn't have thick-headed on the Gorgotha, but it's still a 75% reduction, has a cleanse on it, so any other status effects you get like Death Mark and stuff, you can get off pretty easily. So pretty much very similar troop. They're just used slightly differently. But if he could stop being annoying, we could kill him already. Keep talking, but he'll take a skull, we'll take a skull after he takes the billion extra turns. Let's see, so he'll do that. We'll take our reds into his skull. He's still gonna get famine off though, which is annoying. Famine's always annoying. When is famine not annoying? So he'll do his thing. All he needs is a skull poke though, so we'll probably take this yellow as that's the only spot where we have a chance of getting one. And perfect, good job, board. And there's our drop skull. And that is matched. Definitely not the quickest, of course. He does have a very high mana cost. He is indeed a mythic. So that's one of the other reasons kind of holding him back. Of course, something like a Gorgotha or a Jarl can cast way, way quicker than he can. And even with a Mercy, we were able to get him up in one turn, but every subsequent one that you do after that, if he ends up missing, like on Browns or something, will take quite a bit of time, and it's not really worth using the courage to get the mana up. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. If you guys have any other questions about the event, the mythic or anything else in general for Gems of War, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. We will be streaming it this Friday and Saturday, or today and tomorrow, as we always do, every Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we have the mythic this week. Next Friday and Saturday we'll have the new kingdom as well. So that'll be a lot of fun to mess around with. Anyways, hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.